is a digital ID, a digital currency. The government would have complete control, an emergency act, on a daily basis, with no need for a parliamentary process or oversight. The cost? Only a complete loss of your freedom and privacy. COVID-19 has proven to be the training ground of the programming required for people to accept such conditions. The government could decide where and on what you spend your money, decide to prohibit or limit certain items. You will eat less meat with the press of a button. Disagree with the political opinion of the day, and yep, denied access to your bank account. A driver's license is revoked or suspended, or fail to update your vaccine status and denied medical treatment. With the introduction of digital IDs, this is the new normal for everyday citizens. The government controls every dollar you spend and has access to your bank accounts 24/7. They can tax, fine, or seize your assets directly. They have 100% control. Nathan Mayer Rothschild, quote, "I care not what puppet is placed upon the throne of England to rule the empire on which the sun never sets. The man who controls Britain's money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the money supply." Stated another way, in a report in February of 1914, he said, "Let us control the money of a country, and we care not who makes its laws." Making sense now? Outside influencers have been manipulating governments for longer than one might realize. But people would not ever consider such solution as a digital ID without the full confidence in their banking system and or their government. How many Canadians today do you think have that level of confidence in their government or their banks? In following through on Trudeau and Freeland's orders, the banks have proven that they are indeed agents of the state, and your information is not secure or safe. Your assets can be seized in a moment's notice. Banks and governments cannot be trusted. Trudeau and Freeland, with the assistance of Canadian chartered banks, froze the assets of a single mother for making a $50 donation to a legal protest protected under Canada's highest law, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Dare to disagree with the government in the face of digital ID, and the possibility becomes endless because no emergency act is required. I had to ponder why the sudden Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland about face as Canadians started to withdraw funds from the banks, a mini run on the bank, as they saw through the Emergencies Act and realized the significant overreach and collusion. My original thinking led me to believe that Trudeau recognized the act would probably not pass through the debate in Senate, and I'm sure that that did factor in. But I believe it more likely that Trudeau and Freeland got a huge slap from the puppet masters, the World Economic Forum. Thus, their quick retreat and sullen temperament. Trudeau and Freeland threatened, they alone jeopardized to expose the greater plot. Neil Parmenter of the Canadian Bankers Association explains how Canada is on the cusp of a revolutionary innovation that will transform the way Canadians authenticate themselves. Digital IDs. Interconnected network developed by your banks, telecommunication companies, law enforcement agencies, and government. That must make you feel so safe. It will include everything: your vaccine status, driver's license, financial commitments, banking details, everything that identifies as you. A fast and easy way for every Canadian to bank, sign up for government services, renew driver's license or health card, shop, travel, and more, he states. Canada's banks are perfectly situated to help lead the creation of a federated digital ID system between government and the private sector. Isn't that the definition of fascism? The WEF agrees that banks and financial institutions should lead the path forward for digital ID. I ask you, who elected the World Economic Forum and the bankers? I'm not feeling the warm and fuzzy here. The Canadian Banker Association just launched its own white paper with their own recommendations on how to move forward with digital IDs. He refers again to the World Economic Forum and the promotion of digital IDs, openly admitting to the promotion and the intent to implement such a strategy. Again, Freeland and Trudeau threatened this plan by exposing just how much power the government already has and would have over your daily life, the daily life of every citizen without due process. That is the ultimate plan: digital IDs and a digital currency. To implement such a diabolical plan, you would have to collapse the entire economy. Destroying the economy means destroying independent businesses. Lockdowns. You would have to make every citizen dependent upon the state. A universal income. CERB was a great trial run. The question is to whose benefit? John F. Kennedy, just 7 days before his assassination, is quoted as having said, "There is a plot in this country to enslave every man, woman, and child. Before I leave this high and noble office, I intend to expose this plot." Klaus Schwab's stakeholders government, in collusion with big tech and big corporation and big banks, might they be the beneficiaries? COVID already saw to it that these stakeholders saw massive increases to profits. Billionaires increased their wealth by almost 30% during this crisis. Who paid the expense? The real people, the small businesses that fuel the real economy. It is expected that by 2030, many low-income wage earners will be replaced by automation. I expect that within the next couple of years, a dangerous market collapse in combination with the policies already in place and the damage already taking their toll, supply chains and more, people will begin to demand that their government do something to help. In fact, human beings, according to Klaus Schwab, has become a surplus to requirement. Klaus Schwab, founder of the World Economic Forum and author of COVID-19, The Great Reset, and the Fourth Industrial Revolution, believes that our bodies will become transhuman, the property that is owned and manipulated as it combines biotechnology and the human being. Although this may not sound so threatening to some, it is fraught with danger. Power placed into the hands of a few usually ends badly for the many. Was it indeed possible that COVID-19 was the opportunity they had been waiting for, or a huge fraud committed for the purpose of furthering a global elite's agenda of one world government? The reality is there is no returning to normal. The pre-COVID world we once knew and lived in is long gone, and a group of global elitists are working diligently to shape a new world. Build back better. A world in their own image and to the benefit of their stakeholders. If we submit to a digital currency, to a digital ID, we will all lose. We will lose our privacy, our right to property, and the right to pursue your own life's ambitions. For many, these mandates will end, but the real battle is yet to be fought, and it is a fight for all the marbles. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Stay tuned for more to come.